here's what we're going to do today. Remember that the primary cooking method that we're going to use is a dry heat, so we're going to be putting it on the grill. For those of you who don't want to grill it, I'm going to open up the floor to a possible pan sear, but just be careful that the meatloaf will come apart. It'll stick to a pan, so I'll be cautious with that. This is a basic meatloaf recipe. Okay, so imagine, did any of you go home and think about what you would have done differently to the meatloaf?
In a pan, maybe.
What's that?
I never did it without like a pan.
Oh, well, what about the interior, the meat, the ingredients?
Rice
Rice?
instead of those.
What's going on?
Bell peppers.
Bell peppers? That's what I'm talking about. How do we improve it? Improve it. What would you have done differently? I want to know what you guys think of after you make something. You're like, man, I would have done this, 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 and this. Because it's completely outside the realm of the recipe, right? Remember we talked about how some people recipes are finite. The recipe says, so we're going to do it this way. Well, what if yesterday we'd have put some roasted poblanos and some aged smoked cheddar and things like that in there? We'd have had a really nice spicy meatloaf,
cheese
right?
would be great.
Would that have been part of the recipe? No, it wouldn't have. So that's what I'm saying. How many of you went home and thought about, man, if I had a chance to do that again, I would have done this. Or next time I make meatloaf, I'm definitely doing that, right? So I just want you guys to get out of the mindset of, well, the recipe says, because I see a lot of people, you guys are measuring out specific portions of food. It's like, well, I mean, I get it. That's a good guideline in the book, but you're going to have to adapt. And that's what being a chef is all about, is being able to adapt. I don't have that in the house. Well, I'll use something else that's similar. Maybe I don't even like that recipe. I'm going to completely modify the whole thing. What about a guest who can't have something that you serve? You have to be able to adapt, right? So I just want you guys to kind of get out of that mindset. So the meatloaf, again, bacon wrapped for Esther. What we're going to do, we're going to sear the outside of the meatloaf, and that's it. That's all we're trying to achieve, is a nice kind of rusty red on the bacon. You guys know what good looking bacon looks like, right? So that's what we're doing. I have a pan here. It's about 1/5. It's got quite a bit of oil in it, and that's just for speed's sake. For you guys, I want you to put it in a pan on a medium heat, and I want you to sear it, and then roll it, sear it, roll it, sear it. It'll probably take upwards of 8 minutes tops, and then we're going to pull it off, and we're going to slice it. So, a key factor in this, you can see this meatloaf's kind of big. My bacon shrunk. So what I'm going to do is make sure that that's the side I sear first. I'm going to put the bacon side where it's overlapped. I'm going to put that down and sear it first. Okay, so here we go. And I'm going to do this very gently. Now we're going to talk about our sauce.
Can I ask you a question, Chef?
Yes. Go ahead.
You're doing the pan searing, right? What would be wrong with putting it in, taking it off the foil and everything, and putting it in the oven and let it
You're
brown?
going to cook the interior.
Okay.
You want to cook the interior here,
All right.
not in there.
Couldn't you have done it like that?
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Finish it that way. Because once it begins to cook and you cut into it, it's going to begin to crumble. You know what I mean? So you made a commitment. So again, nice rusty red. A little less time than I thought. Crispy bacon, right? Right, I don't want it hot. I'm not afraid of it. You afraid of it? Only eating hot, a lot of fat. Okay, let's talk about the pan sauce. The pan sauce, some of you have mushrooms, and that's okay. I would rather not have mushrooms. I want to keep it simple today. I want to know, we had some real challenges with our sauce yesterday. You guys remember your sauce? Your scorecard to represent your sauce, a lot of you, okay? Some of you did all right, but we struggled with it. So I want us to improve the sauce. I want you to get the basic stuff down. What we're going to do is we're going to make a small pan gravy. We're going to use garlic and shallot. I would prefer that you not use mushrooms. If you pulled mushrooms, find a way to put that in your vegetables. Okay? Because they're going to absorb a lot of fat. You're going to add more fat, and that fat's going to be extruded once you add your stock, and your sauce is going to break. We don't want to do that. So we're going to take a little bit of clarified butter. Okay? And I do mean a little bit. I'm going to saute some garlic and shallots. Now these shallots, I left them, I didn't, no rhyme or reason, I just kind of like leaving them in their rings. They're kind of whole. Okay, these are actually going to be the last thing I put on my plate. We'll put them in my hot bath. And the garlic, I just shaved it super, super thin.
Oh, see, it's garlic. Oh, we mixed it
I want
up.
to get some nice caramelization on there. These things start to turn brown on the edges. I want that. I want them really well brown because I want them sweet. All right, we're gonna let that rest for just a moment. Okay. We'll get back to our sauce.
That's rude.
Now we've got some caramelizing going on. Our garlic's got a little bit. We're gonna add just a touch of flour. We just want to just barely put any flour in there. Don't go nuts. We're gonna have that really thick sauce again. Our sauce is mostly gonna be made by reduction. So you can see I use maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon. Not a lot in there. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and deglaze. You're gonna see that tighten up really, really quick. I know you can't from your angle. I'm gonna take some of this veal stock. Reduce it. Let that rise. We've got a little bit of flour in there. That's gonna be our nice thickening agent. I'm gonna let that go. Okay. Now back to this. All right, we're gonna take a knife. You'll want to use your meat slicer. You guys remember the meat slicer, the razor sharp? How many of you have already been cut by your meat slicer? Okay. Well, there's a first time for everything. So we want a nice sharp meat slicer because it'll pull the bacon if you don't. So you can see the interior of the meatloaf. Again, I use carrots, so you're seeing some different colors in there. We probably want some nice even medallions. Remember that the interior of this is completely, it's cold. So we'll just put 2 medallions. These are probably a little big. If I wanted to cut an appropriate size, I'd probably go more like this. About 3/4 of an inch. That's probably an appropriate portion. Okay?
One slice, Chef?
Yeah, we'll probably only need 1 slice on the plate. We want to manage that portion, right? If you can get them a little bit thinner, and you want to put 2 on there, that's okay, but I don't want 10 ounces of beef on the plate, all right? We've got to learn to manage those portions. We're going to take it until it's almost sure. All right. I forgot to add the time. Right here. You didn't even say anything. You didn't even say anything. All right. We want diamonds, right? So we're going to go 45 degrees. We pulled rosemary. Didn't we pull rosemary? Yeah. So if you want to use rosemary, that's an option for you.
Do we leave a hole or do we cut it out?
What else?
What you do?
I just leave mine whole. It'll pull all the flavor I want out of it. Now, you can see it's beginning to thicken. We only need about 1 spoonful, maybe 2. Starting to thicken as it reduces. Okay. If you wanted to add a little more richness, you could probably hit it with a small portion of tomato paste. I'm just going straight stock. I may even add a little more stock to it. At this point, we'll go ahead and season. What happens if we season it too soon? Pardon me? Yeah, it'll continue to concentrate, right? Alright, so it's number one. I forgot my plate. I'm gonna go grab a plate. Pardon me. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's a chip anyways.
Yeah, that's one I've been using.
Oh.
Alright. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Meatloaf smells really, really good. Again, I can't explain why we're doing meatloaf. We're going to do it. Again, this is the only plate we're making today. Okay? One plate is enough, I think, for now. It's Friday. We'll go out. Woo! Okay.
The clock's gone.
I have a question for you. Mine is not wrapped in bacon
Why not?
because I'm allergic to it. So will it cook decent without the bacon?
Our special for today, it's not wrapped. Our special in the restaurant today is
Meatloaf?
grilled meatloaf.
Our special one says.
So once it's done, if you add more stuff, I did. I can probably reduce it a bit.
What the heck? People are gonna see that. And they're gonna be like, that kid is a freak.
Jus? You mean a jus?
Yeah.
The jus is actually not.
I mean, there's no hardly any thickener.
Well, it's mostly a reduction sauce. You're gonna have to know that when you guys go for your practical finals. You want to be a CC someday. You know what I mean? You gotta know how to make a sauce out of a reduction, a roux-based sauce.
So is that how
Like that.
thin this sauce is supposed to be?
Pardon me?
Is that how thin this sauce is supposed
This
to be?
sauce, because it is a reduction, as it cools on the plate and on the food, it's gonna thicken. So it's a little loosey-goosey now, but by the time it goes out to a guest, we're gonna see it tighten up.
Do we get to try that?
You know what? Sure, go for it.
Hey, we need beef for it?
Need 3, bro.
It's pretty though.